Hey everyone, Kevin Flint here with a on-demand minute. As I talk to more and more marketing teams out there and also agencies and vendors in the B2B lead gen space, it's clear to me that there's a widening gap between those that really know how to navigate this space and are comfortable with all the changes that have been happening and those that are still running a bit of an old playbook. So I want to take a moment and really talk about some of the things you should be thinking about as you approach this space in 2023 and beyond. And I think it's really important to have a solid foundational understanding of the lead generation space if you're going to invest hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars in marketing budget in this area. If you don't know all the things that you need to be doing, you could undoubtedly end up with poorer performance, unnecessary costs, and even maybe problems with quality assurance and data privacy and things like that. And I think in 2023, everyone that has the time and the resources and the know-how to be doing so should be really scrutinizing their lead generation strategy and their vendors to make sure that everybody has the right partnerships in place. So some of the key things that I would call out to be thinking about include: one, do you understand the nature of your lead gen suppliers? That is, are they a publisher? Are they a lead gen network, reseller, aggregator, VAR, blind marketplace? Are they a technology or a data platform that adds a lot of extra value to the leads that then they come in and acquire? Things like intent data and whatnot. Or are they a source provider of leads? There's hundreds, heck, thousands of companies globally, many offshore, of course, that actually are the underpinning generators of leads for many, 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 or almost all the companies out there. And sometimes it's important to establish relationships with those firms that do the email and the telemarketing to generate those leads. How many of those are you using? Are you familiar with them, and do you know the right ones? Second thing is making sure that your suppliers are performing up to the expectations you have based on what they do. If they're a source provider, are you seeing cost and ROI benefits from going direct to the source, buying wholesale, so to speak? Do you still have the right quality in place and the right controls and services and operational stuff in place that you would have if you worked with perhaps a larger reseller aggregator network? If they are a network or a VAR or a marketplace, what value are they adding to justify the added cost that comes undoubtedly when any company acts as an intermediary between the source and you, the customer? And don't get me wrong, networks and resellers and VARs have a purpose, and they can be very appropriate for some customers, but not for everybody. So you want to make sure that you're getting the value that comes with the added cost of having an intermediary between the source and you as the end customer. And for agencies, if you're using a media agency to buy your lead gen and manage those campaigns, making sure that your agency understands this complex web of suppliers and different types of companies out there, that they know who to work with and the best practices and what's coming down the pike, that they have strong relationships and can scrutinize these platforms properly. Lead gen isn't rocket science, but it is a specialty type of marketing B2B. So it's important to make sure that those that are operating in this space know what they're doing or get the right training that they need. Third, be prepared in 2023 to test some new vendors. I've had some really great conversations with companies and some of their founders in the past several months, either that are new to the market or that are expecting to emerge here in 2023 or even early 2024. And I think they're going to be very interesting in some cases. We know there's been tons of changes in the behavior and the content habits of your end customer and how they engage. Combined with all the changes in technology and AI and everything that's going on in the space, you can't expect to run the same playbook you ran in 2023 and have the same results. It's a changing customer, it's changing technology, it's changing media, it's changing everything. So be prepared to look for some new solutions, some new suppliers, and perhaps test some things, hold some budget back to do some tests to see where you might shift some budget from things that have worked well in the past to things that might be what you need for the future. I think testing and learning is going to be huge. And finally, if you're not already doing so, and I hope you are, making sure that you shift your measurement and your conversations around lead gen to pipeline, to the actual business metrics the C-suite cares about. If you've been accustomed to just ringing the bell on MQL volumes and claiming success based on how many leads you delivered, expect that luck to run out relatively soon. Across the board, I see organizations abandoning that old way of doing things, that disconnect between marketing and sales, and really pushing to understand what is the ROI and the impact of these investments. how is this investment in lead gen actually powering sales? How are we actually developing a target account list? What data are we using to prioritize and target? What is our content strategy, which is super important. These are all important things, but I would say if you feel like you're still kind of running things the same way you did 10 years ago, be a change agent and push for change and push to do it the right way. Well, if you're a B2B marketer and you want to chat more with me about what's going on in the lead gen space, feel free to drop me a line at flintondemand@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to talk to you. Take care.